Hi, my name is Joe. Welcome to this session's video. This session is going to be talking about the key parts of the Microsoft Excel screen. Thanks. I want to start by talking about different parts of the Microsoft Excel screen. At the very top of the screen, there's an area called the title bar. On the title bar, it shows you the name of the file you're working with. In our case, there's no file right now, so it calls itself Book 1. Microsoft Excel uses the concept of workbooks. The term workbook is exactly the same as the term book. It's also exactly the same as the term file. Every workbook contains worksheets. You can see at the bottom of the screen, Sheet 1, Sheet 2, Sheet 3, and so on. I'll talk more about these worksheets in a few minutes. In the upper right-hand corner, there's an Application Close button. It's white and red. If I were to click on this, it will close off Microsoft Excel. And below that, there's a File Close button, which we'll use as we're going through these lessons to close off a file or to close off a book when we're finished working with it. In the upper left-hand corner is an area called the Quick Access Toolbar. The Quick Access Toolbar starts off with only 3 buttons, a Save, an Undo, and a Redo button. In one of the lessons coming up very quickly, we'll be talking about how you can modify or customize the Quick Access Toolbar. Then below that, you have the ribbon section, and the ribbon has different parts to it. There's tabs like the Home tab, Insert tab, Page Layout, and so on. Most things you do on a routine basis in Microsoft Excel will be on the Home tab. So right now I'm on the Home tab, and then in the ribbon you're going to see different groupings of command buttons. For example, you'll see the font group. In the font group, you'll see different choices as far as formatting your fonts, changing the font to a different kind of font, the size of the font, bolding your font. In the alignment group, for example, you'll see different ways for centering aligning things or left aligning items. In the number group, you'll see some quick formatting buttons for changing numbers into a currency format, a percent format, for example. And when you want to work on a different part of Microsoft Excel, just ask yourself the question, what do I want to do next in Microsoft Excel? And based upon the answer that you have, look at the tabs at the top and go to the tab that seems to make the most sense. For example, if I wanted to insert a chart or a picture into my Excel spreadsheet, I would go to the Insert tab, and when I click on that, the ribbon will change. And I'll see, for example, over here a picture button for inserting a picture. And I'll see a charts group for inserting a column chart or a pie chart, which we'll cover in a later lesson in the series of lessons. If I wanted to do a review of my spreadsheet for spelling errors, I would go to the Review tab. I click on that. On the far left-hand side, there's a spell check button, which I would use for checking the spelling of my worksheets. I'm going to go back to the Home tab now. So that's the ribbon at the top where you see different tabs. There's also there's a special tab at the top called the File tab. When I click on the File tab, I get a drop-down list. And this is where I would go to save things, save a file as something else, open up an existing document, close off a file. I would go to here, to New, to start a brand new file, and I'd also go to Print to print off a worksheet. I'll go back to the Home tab again. Below the ribbon are 2 key parts of the spreadsheet. The first part is called the name box. The name box shows the address of the cell that I'm active in. Right now I'm active in cell A1. Then off to the right of that, there's large white space. It's called the formula bar. And the formula bar will show you the contents of the cell that you're active in, or it will show you the formula of the cell that you're active in. That's the name box and the formula bar at the top of the screen. And below the name box and the formula bar is the actual spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is made up of columns and rows. There are column headers. The column headers are alpha character, A, B, C, and so on. The row headers on the left-hand side are numeric, 1, 2, 3, 4. And when I click into a cell has a name to it. It's the name of the column that I'm in this case column B. And the row that I'm in, row 4, you can see up on the name box, I'm in cell B4. If I click someplace else in C6, for example, column C, row 6, I'm now in cell C6. I can see in the name box. These spreadsheets are huge. There's over 1 million rows in these spreadsheets. We're not going to be using all the cells in the spreadsheets, but they allow you to have an awful lot of data to be tracked. And then finally, at the bottom of the screen is an area called the Sheet tabs. You'll see Sheet 1, Sheet 2, Sheet 3. I use Microsoft Excel for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons I use it for in my business is for doing bank reconciliations. So when I do a bank reconciliation, I'll have a book called Bank Reconciliations. I would see that at the top. And then lower down on my sheet tabs, I would change these sheets to say January 2015 reconciliation, February 2015 reconciliation, March 15, 2015 reconciliation, and so on. The sheet tabs just allow you to keep things organized. So rather than have different files for things, what you might want to do is put some of the things that are similar in nature to each other on the different sheets at the bottom. It's a way of organizing things. That's the sheet tabs at the bottom.